MMA action at 70 kilos. 1-0, Tyler James making the debut. George Treble after just moving to Bournemouth in September, all the way from Liverpool. 19-year-old Treble joining the Guerrilla Fight team. Actually originally began his journey at MMA Academy in Liverpool. Tyler James expected to maybe need his takedown defense. Has been working on that wrestling. Let's see if it comes into fruition.
Treble looking for the overhand right, trying to initiate the takedown, gets it. Beautiful work. He's got to drag here James away from the cage, bump the hips and pull him towards him.
And this is what Tyler James expected. He said he was prepared for the grappling skills and prowess of George Treble. Confident, absolutely, was Tyler James, having spoken to him earlier this month. One step closer to being a pro, he said, but this fight means everything to me. George Treble, though, I mean, again, he's making his debut, but make no mistake, the guy's got a bit of an interesting style. Really good everywhere, but I feel like taking on Tyler James, who is a little bit more known for his striking, the grappling was the game plan. Having a tough time here, though. Good frame from Tyler James. Persistence, has the grips. Can he get the full position on the back? Almost a reverse body lock, but needs to duck under.
Guillotine attempt here from James. He's going to try and clasp those hands together. Could look to circle George around to the cage for more leverage here.
Tyler James looking to torque on that neck, but maintain his base. The last thing he wanted to do was hip into one of those things and give up a takedown. Real struggle for position here, Dean.
Yeah, George is going to try and clear the head here or definitively get the takedown. Now he switches the grip. Now there's a danger. He can go to the wrist grip here. He needs to try thinking about circling George towards the cage to block him off, to allow the leverage to go through the neck. At this point in time, there's too much movement on the outside. George is able to maneuver around to the back, as we're seeing.
James thought about going high elbow. How uncanny that would have been. Knew he was fighting a grappler, and if he would have been able to catch a submission against him.
And at what cost here is James burning the arm out, trying to hunt for this guillotine submission. If they do get a separation, or indeed they do start to ensue in the grappling realm, is that right arm going to be compromised?
Not a fan of this defense, Dean. What should he be doing?
Well, he's got to frame away on the head here and pummel the underhooks in this position, just like that on the left, and he's got to get the right arm in as well and start to try and square his hips down to the sky, down to the ground, excuse me, and pummel the underhook right up to the sky.
And if you're George Treble, go low?
Yeah, he's got to try and clear that overhook. You see there on the right arm from the camera angle, he's going to try and drop down below, get his head and his hips below his opponents.
Sometimes I'm baffled at the kind of stubbornness of fighters actually only pursuing one takedown. It's about chaining things together. Now, he did get it, credit to him, but it was all kind of about that body lock above the waist. Look at that, Tyler James thinking about a leg lock. And that is the bell. George Treble did get the takedown in the end. The question in my mind, is somebody exhausted here?
Take a look at the replay here. See James push it forward, looking to pummel out with that left hook. He was looking for the uppercut, anticipating George coming in for the takedown. George did a good job of trying to secure the body lock in this position. He had some success with a close support of call. Here he was briefly threatening the back, looking to entangle the legs, but great takedown defense by Tyler James.
Especially turning back in, right? Not allowing him to actually fully get to the back. It's one of those unsung positions, the clinch in the MMA realm against the fence. It's brutal, it's tiring, it's exhausting, as I said. There we go, even Tyler James essentially looking at a leg lock. But my big question is, for round two, does somebody get tired? Treble 19, James 24. 2-inch height advantage for Tyler James. Shout out to Nemesis Coachworks, hosting the weigh-ins yesterday, one of our sponsors, specializing in the repair of prestige, high-quality vehicles such as Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, Rolls-Royce, Porsche, just to name a few.
Barrage of punches, nice uppercut there from James. And he sensed that George ever so slightly puts his head down to the ground when he shoots him for a takedown, and he kind of reaches. That was a better takedown. Drops the levels, fire off the back foot. Oh, the elevator. And we know that James likes the leg locks off of his back, so watch out for those, Chris.
James securing half guard. Treble getting where he wanted to go in round one. He got it quite early in round 2.
George looking to pass the guard here. Now he's got the hands clasped. Heavy pressure through the shoulder into the neck of his opponent. What he's trying to do here is escape that right leg. 3/4 mount now. He's got to try and get that ankle out of the clasp of the guard here of his opponent and get the top position. Now he's in a more dangerous position, Chris.
Out of quarter guard, into mount. Tyler James exposed here as George Treble looking to try to get a win against the undefeated Tyler James, and he seems very close here, Dean.
James is turning away. He's got to be careful about that. He's got to show the ref that he's intelligently defending himself. We're seeing George now look for the choke briefly, opting to go back to the ground and pound.
But when in doubt, punch it out. George Treble staying busy here. Trying to expose the chin. Tyler James trying to escape here.
James could use this opportunity now to go to his back, almost like you want to give up the mount, because right now he's turning away and the referee's not liking what he's seeing.
And Stuart Davies, right on cue, Dean, steps in and ends this fight. George Treble, a debutant here tonight, maybe the underdog on paper. Moving to Bournemouth last year, getting to the Gorilla Fight team. You see Justin Moore and the crew in the corner. Damo Whedon as well. Jordan Miller over to congratulate from the JM MMA team. Local rivalries, and there you go, you can see it. From my lips to their ears, mutual respect between George Treble, who comes out on top, and Tyler James. Dean, here is the tale of the tape as it happened.
George did a great job of pressing forward, and there was a beautiful level change. This was the early on when he was kind of reaching and putting the head down. That prompted James to throw the uppercut. So we can see the beautiful double leg. He changes levels straight down, gets to this position here. But the key here for him to the win was the James that was turning away.
Calgary has the result.
And pound ends this contest in 1 minute and 35 seconds of the second round. Delivered by your winner in the red corner, George Treble. And let's hear it for runner-up, Tyler James.